record on here on the Zoom. So it's recording now. Oh God, I hate being in front of the camera. It stresses me out. It's not my forte. Right. Oh, I'm nervous now. Now that the camera's been put on. Okay, right. So, hi, Dragonia. You play Sophie in the film For Now. Would you mind telling us a little bit what the film's about?
So it's about this girl, Jade. I play her best friend actually, and Jade is somebody who works very hard. She's obviously workaholic. She gives a lot to her role and what she wants. She is career driven, but she tends to, in the aspect of driving towards a career and achieving what she wants, she tends to forget the people that love her and care about her in the heat of the moment. She doesn't mean to. She's not a bad person. It's just, I think she depicts what most of us do. We get so caught up in what's important to us, like right in front of us, that we actually forget what's important in the aspect of our entire life. And it would be things like her mom and her family, and obviously her best friend, who is me. And I'm the snarky best friend who tries to pull her back down to earth. And obviously I want really good things for her, but she gets on my nerves. And yeah.
You like relate to your character, or are you more like Jade, or like have you ever been
No, actually I am not like Jade at all. I am very much, and I think I was really suited for this role, snarky. And I am always the best friend who tends to ground people. My own best friends, they always have this saying, oh, if your husband can handle you, so can we.
I'm the same. I feel like they always come to me for advice, and I'm like, God, I don't know why you're asking me for advice, but it just seems to be, I think I'd be more than a Sophie than a Jade.
I think you're somebody who seems to be you're very inviting. I feel really free talking to you.
Yeah, I guess I just like, no judgments. Like, I just don't really care. But Jade to me, like as a character, seems like someone who could be quite judgy, or like if you went to a school reunion or something and you wouldn't want to tell her what your actual job is because you're just scared of what she'd say or something like that.
I don't think she means to be judgy. I think Jade's a little more when we've experienced so many bad things in life, you tend to become conditioned to respond in a certain way. We don't always mean to be mean, but you know, it's I think the word I would use is guarded. She's a little guarded, so it's a good thing that she has like the best friend. She has the Sophie to pull her along, and I think that's what makes like the chemistry between the two so well. Like the two of them, they're polar opposites, but what one has the other doesn't, and then what one doesn't have the other complements. So yeah,
and that she doesn't seem to be like, she's not mean. I think she's just she's a perfectionist. I think that's what I got anyway from the trailer. That
and along the way she's hurt people pursuing her perfection. So yeah,
work that hard, and like she's not gonna go down without a fight, pretty much, you know.
And I feel like a lot of times, even when we're growing up, even when we're in school, we misjudge somebody as snarky or snooty or up their butt. But I think if we actually spent the time to get to know them, then we'll see that there's this other side of them, that they're not actually snobby, they're vulnerable. In fact, I would say.
Definitely. Have you ever played a character like this before, or is this like new for you, the whole genre?
The sarcastic one?
So in the romance film.
I've never actually done romance. I'm actually a sci-fi actor. So this would actually be my first rom-com, I would say.
Wow. Well, how did you find the process of it all, and like what?
It was different. Just prior to this, I was doing Star Trek Beyond the Sun, and I played an alien character who was actually a very angry alien character because her role had basically her religion was interrupted, her religious practices were interrupted by a Starfleet officer. And so this was very different for me. And I was a little, I'm not in real life, I'm not somebody who's romantically inclined as well. And I would say that I was concerned at the start if I would be able to like do this well. But yeah, I think I actually enjoy it. I never thought it would be a genre that I would do. But yeah, I had fun doing this.
Well, they're definitely two complete opposite ends of the
Yes,
spectrum.
they are.
Um, it's important to have range, I guess, in your acting. Are you a fan of chick flicks like outside of acting just to watch, or is that not really your
Do I
genre?
watch chick flicks? I think I watched one years and years ago, but that was only because my best friend dragged me out to watch it at the cinemas. What was it? I can't remember the name. I watched Twilight. Does that count? She's dragged me out to watch Twilight, so I actually had to sit through an entire marathon, and I was a little mortified by the end of the whole thing. It was a long session for me. I think I would have rather watch the entire trilogy of the Lord of the Rings, including The Hobbit as well.
Honestly, like Lord of the Rings is so good. I don't even blame you for saying that.
Yeah.
So it does depend on what you class as a chick flick, because this is the whole, the whole point of the trailer is to play on stereotypes of what other chick flicks have done, like the Legally Blonde moment where she gets dumped in Legally Blonde, but she gets sacked and she has to reinvent herself, and like they all sort of follow the same sort of story pretty much. As something bad happens to her, and then she has to go on like a self journey to sort of like find herself.
Stereotype aside, I think it's a reflection of what real life is. When you fail at something, it's either you give up, which I like most people we know like you shouldn't give up. So it's either you give up, give in, and you surrender, or you reinvent yourself, you try again. And I think that's what builds like that strength and character in this film.
Yeah, definitely. I think the whole point of it was to sort of show like the feminism, because I feel like a lot of scenes, because I think it's based on like American noughties chick flicks, so like Clueless, Legally Blonde, 13 Going on 30, like Mean Girls, the ones that it's based on. Yeah. All classics. And I feel like a lot of that reception now is different to what it was at the time. Because I feel like at the time, boys in particular were like, no, I'm not watching this. And I found that even now, like if I would show this trailer to someone, to like one of my boyfriends or my dad or something, he would never be interested in watching it. But if like the roles were reversed and say that it was about a man trying to find like working hard in his career and then he gets a girlfriend, I don't like the amount of people that watch it,
like what's that show, the one that Top Gun, is that it,
with Tom Cruise?
Yeah. I've never watched it. I've never been a fan of it. I've watched like snippets here and there when my dad's watched them, and it's not a show that because I always say to my friends, like, do you actually think people like females actually want that? Like, yeah, we actually want a chauvinistic guy, like, oh, we don't. And I think it's just, it challenges. I don't think the current generation, of males would be like that. I would think that it's the previous generations. I don't know, actually, I take that back. There might still be yeah.
It's progressing, let's say. It's
yeah,
not
it's progressing, but it's not eradicated in the current, even with the current generation.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, due to COVID, obviously the film hasn't been able to be filmed, and you mentioned that you were working on Star Trek before. Is that an animation as well, or?
No, that was a short film that I did. It was here in, it's because of COVID-19. I've not been able to actually obviously go to America and pursue other jobs. There was a Star Trek fan film here that was being filmed by Aaron Benderkley. He is an Australian filmmaker who's known within the Star Trek community for making a lot of like fan films for Star Trek and Doctor Who. And I was blessed enough to get involved in that. And right after, in fact, completing For Now, I actually got enrolled for another animation. It's Star Wars New Horizon, and I play a Jedi Master.
Oh, but sci-fi again.
Sci-fi again. Well, actually, prior to all of these, I do have an extending contract for an anime that I'm actually doing. Like, it's a professional anime. It's in production. My contract's for 4 seasons. I play the lead female. She's the loved interest to the main character. So it's not exactly sci-fi, but it is fantasy, it is anime, and it's also romance. And I think I'm told, like, the director actually came back to me and he was like, can I get a sample of you singing? I was like, oh, okay. I are we gonna be using this for the opening, or because it's an actual anime itself, like a full-on Japanese anime but in English. So I did ask, I was like, am I supposed to be like singing the theme song? Or he was like, no, actually you're gonna be singing to the main character. I was like, oh, okay, she's gonna be singing to her lover. And I actually don't like, if you ask my husband, I actually don't do stuff like that at all.
Oh,
So
it would just be like,
that's gonna be new for me. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
How did it go then? How was the process on it? Was it fun or?
I sent him a sample of like a song. He's like, all right, good, excellent. This is perfect. I was like, okay. But we actually haven't filmed that scene. So that episode is being written, and I think the music for that is being written at the moment as well. But I've done a few other characters on top of my main character, and she doesn't come into this season until I think the second or third episode towards the end.
Oh, right. Okay. At least you've got next season's sort of build up.
Yeah, she's got another 3 more seasons to go.
That's okay then. Well, good luck with that anyway, with the anime. That sounds really exciting.
Thank you.
I've just got a little quiz that I think we should play. But obviously I've just found out you're not the biggest fan of rom-coms, so we'll have to see how well you do, and then if you win I can send you something in the post. We'll have to and then it will have to be a tally between you and Jenny to see who wins. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions. So what was...
I already feel like Jenna's going to win this one.
No, have a bit of faith. So what was Juliet's last name in Romeo and Juliet?
Oh no, I have no idea.
Straight away.
Wait, oh no. Capulet? No, wait, it's Capulet and Montague. Capulet. Romeo.
Yeah, Capulet.
Romeo
right.
Capulet.
Juliet Capulet, and then it was Romeo.
Right, Romeo Montague and Juliet Capulet. Right, yeah. Right.
I'll give you that. That's the point. You get one. In Titanic, what are Rosie's last words to Jack?
Oh my God, I have no idea. I know the song.
Have you ever seen Titanic?
I think when I was 7, it was playing on TV. My mom and dad were watching it. I just, I was a child. I don't think I've ever watched it again.
I believe that.
I think the only scene I know was right at the end when she actually threw the necklace into the ocean. That was all I remember. Yeah, she said something to him. Oh, I think I know. Is that the scene where she's floating on this? I don't know. Is it like a door?
Yeah,
and he's hanging on the side. And I just thought to myself, I think there's space enough for 2 of them to kind of...
Definitely. This is like the biggest debate in cinema history, 100%.
Oh, okay.
Could he have got on or not? I'm going to say no, he couldn't, because if he would have got on, then it would have...
Sunk?
So
Maybe.
it was space, but the weight surely wouldn't help. Although it would have been better than just sitting in the water, I guess. But
She says something to him.
yeah, so
Does she say something like, "I will never forget you"?
close. It's I'll never let go. That's what she says.
I'll never let go. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because
You know what? I'm going to give you half a point for that because that was a really good considering. How many letters did Noah write Ali in the Notebook?
I didn't even watch The Notebook.
Oh my god! Baby! The Notebook's such a good film.
Oh, but I did see the audition that she did for The Notebook. I think is that the one where she was facing, like she had her back facing to the camera, and then I think that's the one. I'm not
With
sure.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, when she was doing the audition for the movie.
Oh, I've
And
never actually seen it, you know. I've never seen
it's
it.
actually really, really good. I thought that audition was very, very good.
I've never seen
Yeah,
it.
but no, I've never seen the movie.
Oh, it's so you should watch it. It's really good. It is a tearjerker though, I'm not gonna lie. The answer's 364. He does it every day.
364 letters.
Yeah, he does it every day for the year, apart from the last day, which is when she comes back to him.
Wow.
Which is a lot of letters. I would run out of things to say.
I don't even text my husband that many times.
I know, like what you
I
don't say. Especially in a letter as well. Have you seen The Fault in Our Stars?
Oh, actually, yes, I have.
Yeah.
She had the guy was in a wheelchair and she had the tank that she had to carry with her. That one was actually really good. I actually enjoyed that movie. They went to the I liked the scene where they went to the museum as well.
Yeah, and they went to Anne Frank house, didn't they? I think
so.
which is debatable. But the question is, what do Hazel and Gus say to each other all the time in The Fault in Our Stars?
Oh my god, I am so bad at remembering. You know, if this was a question about what the Borg said, I would know literally all the answers.
Like, what does Gandalf say to the Balrog or something? You get that, no problem.
What did they say to each other?
It's just one word. It's like just a word that they say all the time.
A word that we say all the time?
That and people do say it all the time, yeah, but they particularly say it.
Damn. That's not the word.
Not
bravery? I don't know.
It's literally just okay. That's what they say. Okay. They say that to each other all the time. But they say it in like that's their promise to each other sort of thing.
Oh, right. Like yeah, when they're telling each other to have strength to carry on and confront, because I think the idea was that these two people thought they were damaged, but they're not.
Yeah.
That's the kind of idea that I got from the show. And that was like that part of that movie was what it resonated a lot with me. Like we assume that we're damaged, but we're not. And it just the perspective, it's a change of perspective for me when I saw that movie. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I read the book when I was like 14 and it ruined me for days. Came downstairs and my mum was like, "Oh, what's the matter?" Because I was like bawling my eyes out and they were like, I was like, "Nothing, there's been a tragedy." But it was literally
I'm pretty sure Dad's gonna get like all of these answers right.
You never know, she might not have seen some of these as well. I know that you've just seen this film because you've just said, so when does Bella see Edward for the first time in Twilight?
When she joins that science class and he thinks like she thought he thinks he stinks. No, wait. Yes, I think in class, right? Or was it at the car park?
It was in the cafeteria when he walks in from the car park and she goes, "Who's that?" And like Alice and what's Alice's boyfriend's called? I can't remember. They walk in and then he sits on his own and he stares at her. The whole film's just staring.
I think I remember most what I remember most of the film was that I was eating a lot of potato chips.
In the cinema? Were you in the cinema? Are they crisps, potato chips?
Yeah. Oh, right. You guys call them crisps. Yeah,
Because
like I think I bought like 4 or 5 bags of potato chips that day, and I remember they were Bedrock, sweet chili and sour cream. That's all I remember.
very specific. Wow.
I remember the potato chips, but I don't remember much of the movie except uh what is one that I remember when she was about to give birth, and then like that was really painful to watch.
Oh,
Watching
yeah.
her at the moment when she first felt like the baby was about to pop, and then her bones, I think her back snapped and then her knees gave way as well. And that was painful for me. That's what I remember about the show.
That was one of the worst scenes. That's in the last one, I think.
Yes, yes.
Because it's like a vampire baby, isn't it? It's like eating everything out. Ugh. Ma-
But she's half though. She's a hybrid, isn't she? She's like half human as well.
Yeah. So it's like a demon child. Have you seen the Hunger Games?
Yes, I've seen the Hunger Games.
I think that's debatable on whether it's a chick flick or not, but I have included it in the thing.
I think it's more of a chick empowerment film.
Yeah, it's not really
Here.
like I wouldn't put it in the same category as the other ones. But it's still got romance involved.
What's the boy that she joins the Hunger Games with? The baker boy?
Peter.
Peter, yes, Peter. I
Yeah.
always thought that Peter would have made a better lover for her than and I think at the end, towards the end, perhaps she was a little swayed by Peter as well. He gave up so much for her. I would have picked Peter, I think.
They do get together in the end. And I thought when I first watched it, I was like, nah, she's just doing it for the cameras. But I think that she does genuinely end up liking him. And then when you watch the second and third ones as well, have you seen the rest of them?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then at the end, she had kids with the old boyfriend, didn't she?
No, she has them with Peter eventually.
Oh, it was with Peter?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Not
okay.
with Gail. Gail's. I feel
I
like
remember she was writing a letter to her kid, and that's the scene that I remember. She was writing a letter to a kid, and I thought like I actually like I like the Hunger Games. I liked more more than more than the idea of the political system. I like the interactions between her and Peter and how much like Peter understands where she's coming from and just has this like respect for her. And also like I think Peter is a little, I want to say chauvinistic in his own way, but I think he is what I would say is progressive. The idea that you may have been brought up by chauvinism and been exposed to perpetuated chauvinism, but you're trying your best. And I think that's the right message. Like you might be chauvinistic, but you're trying your best. You're trying your best to be an ally. You're trying your best to have respect for women. You're trying your best to understand. And I think that's a lot was what was important to me in that film, and which is why I became like a Peter, like I was rooting for Peter at the end of it.
I was 100%. I feel like the only reason why people were rooting for Gail, the other boyfriend, was because he was played by Liam Hemsworth. That was like the only reason why. But like, if you look at his character, he's awful. He's a terrible character. So where does Mr. Darcy live in Pride and Prejudice?
Darcy. I read the book when I was 6.
6, reading Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, my mom used to. I finished the entire Nancy Drew series when I was 4. I think I remember I was in kindergarten, and the teacher said the teacher wrote a note to my mom. She's reading books that are way too advanced for her age. So by the time I think I kind of digressed. Like people progress in the way they read books.
Yeah.
I think for me it was just at the time that was what my mom could get, and the first set was Nancy Drew, the entire Nancy Drew files. And then I had the Hardy Boys after Nancy Drew's, and then I had Mallory Towers after, and then that's when I read Pride and Prejudice. I was 6 going on 7, I think. So it's been a long while. Where does he live? Was it Wellington? No.
It begins. Do you want me to tell you what it begins with? See if you can get it, or is that cheating? I won't tell Jenna. I won't say that. I helped her. It starts with a P.
Pem, like, oh, it's PM, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not Pembington then.
No, Pemberley. You were so close the first time.
Pembley. Oh,
You were so close. You nearly made it. I think I'm gonna give you a strong. I think you got 3. No, you did. You got 1.5.
oh no. Out of how many?
7. So
Oh god, that's awful.
I mean, it's a strong score to try and beat. We'll have to see how she does. She could have seen, you never know, Jenna could have seen less films than you.
I
Oh,
doubt, I hardly doubt that. I'm pretty sure Janet is. It's not, it's not very, very often. I think you get like 2 Trekkies in the same in the same short film.
to be fair, I think she said in like a previous interview that this was like her casting like type. Like she has done this role.
Yeah. So
it's unfair advantage. I'm just gonna put it down to that already.
oh no.
I don't know if she's competitive or not. She might take this very seriously and then we could be in trouble. So, you never know.
She would deserve to win though, to be honest. Now, if this was a quiz about Star Trek and Star Wars, I would win that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I should do that next time to make it fair. So it's not on.
Have one in sci-fi.
Yeah. That's what I have for today anyway. So thank you for coming.
No, thank you.
It's been nice meeting you anyway.
It's nice to meet you.
Good luck with the anime. Yeah, me too. The quiz was fun. I wouldn't have got all of them to be fair. Like,
I think I'm gonna like watch a few movies after this. The Fault in the Stars and rewatch Hunger Games because obviously I have no idea what I was watching.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go watch Pride and Prejudice because I've never actually seen it. I know the answer where he lives, but I've never watched it.
There are a fair few versions of Pride and Prejudice, and I would say I've actually enjoyed the last 2.
Is Keira Knightley in one of them?
Yes, Keira Knightley was in one of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. My sister's been dying to get me watching it now for like months, so it's gonna have to happen. So yeah, anyway, thank you for meeting me. I had a really nice time. Good luck with your anime and with the
thank you.
The trailer. I loved it. So bye.
Oh, there's also the singer. Don't forget to look out for the singer who I think she, yeah.
Definitely. Thank you.